What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to a video. It's not another video because it's the first video. MLB season is back, baby. This is for opening day. I am incredibly excited to make this video right now. I am making this video on Wednesday night, the day before the slate. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for joining me. Quick update, the MLB player prop tool. If you've been playing NBA with us, you also know that I created the player prop tool that is at greenlightdfs.com. We have been destroying sports betting when it comes to player props on prize picks, on sports books, all over the place with that player prop tool. The MLB player prop tool will be available tomorrow for opening day. I'm not sure exactly what time it'll be officially on the site because my developer's ironing out a few little last minute things. But we will see. But it will be up there before the slate starts, and I definitely recommend everybody who plays on Prize Picks or whatever use code GREENLIGHT on Prize Picks to get a match up to $100 on your boy. Um, and yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into this. I'm not going to keep up too much of your time, man. I'm incredibly excited baseball is back. We had a fantastic season last season. We smashed everyone in this industry last year. It was beautiful, it was fun, and I'm excited to do it all again. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So, starting off at pitching. Now, one thing to keep an eye on is going to be weather situations, but I'm not going to keep too much merit into it because as of right now, weather could change come time. So I'm not going to put too much merit in it, but that's something you need to pay attention to up to lock. But here's the guys that I like for now. The pitcher that I'm really liking is Shane Bieber. Now, Bieber is on the road in Kansas City, but Bieber has the highest strikeout rate on this slate, and it's not particularly close. 34% K rate to lefties, 31% K rate to righties. He doesn't allow much of an average at all. He is a solid pitcher overall. You've got some decent K guys in this Kansas City lineup. This is a fantastic spot for Shane Bieber. And at the end of the day, at 8-3, he just feels a little too cheap for an ace type pitcher like Shane Bieber is. All right, you're getting him cheaper than you, Darvish. You're getting him cheaper than Max Fried, or Fried, however you say his name. I should know with being a Braves fan, but whatever. Fried, right? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, Shane Bieber's in a fantastic spot here. If you want to go Max Fried, that's completely fine. Fried is also a solid option on this slate as well, going against Cincinnati with no Castellanos. So obviously that's great. But yeah, Shane Bieber is the guy I'm going to lane with solely on, as we know, strikeouts are king in DFS. All right, these guys can give up a home run. These guys can give up hits. But the main thing you want is your guy to get Ks, and he'll be able to make up for all of it. So strikeouts are king. Shane Bieber, 34% versus lefties, 31% versus righties, in a solid spot in this one. Now, it's a tough spot. SP2 is a tough spot. I kind of like to go mid-range-ish. Like I've always said, though, get your pitching right and then figure the hitting out next. But I do have an option that I feel like is pretty damn safe on this slate. I might end up very well going up to a Max Fried, going ahead and getting Bieber and Max Fried, or Bieber and Darvish, or whatever. I very well might do that. But as of right now, I like a guy okay at kind of the mid ranges at 7.5. As you can see, Adam Wainwright I have up as one of the better value pitchers of the slate. He's just going against a bad lineup. They do have a good amount of lefties here for this team, but at the end of the day, the lineup's just not very good. All right, they strike out over 24% of the time versus right-handed pitching. Adam Wainwright's not going to blow you away with his strikeout rate, but at least he's going against guys like Ben Gamel with a 36% strikeout rate against Wainwright. Tsugo has struck out every time he's faced him. Small sample size, but still. Vogelbach has struck out 36% of the time versus him. So he's got some K potential in this lineup. Hayes is like the only guy that I really fear much at all in this lineup. So obviously Vogelbach could hit a home run here and there, but at the end of the day, I think Wainwright's a safe, solid flourish option. Last season, he got a 27, a 42, a 38, and a 27 against this team. Wainwright was pretty damn consistent last season, and he feels like another solid option here on this slate. So I like him as like a mid-range guy. But if you decide you want to, like I said, if you want to just make sure you're getting your pitching right, going like a Yu Darvish and a Fried with Bieber makes sense. I mean, just go ahead and get the two highest strikeout rate guys, solid matchups, and go ahead and just run it. All right. Now at the bats, I'm very excited for some potential here that we got, man. Luke Voigt. San Diego is one of the teams I automatically kind of lean towards. I really like the matchup for these San Diego power guys against Bumgarner, who's a bad lefty. Let's just be honest. Bumgarner gives up a ton. All right, he gives up a 216 ISO versus right-handed bats. Luke Voigt's a guy who has had success in a small sample size against Bumgarner, hitting a 667 average and a 333 ISO. So he's hitting with some power. He's getting on base. He's got a 713 WOBA, so he gets that's the weighted on base average. So he gets on base pretty solid. Bumgarner, plain and simple, is just not a very good pitcher at this point of his career. He's not very good versus right-handed bats. Luke Voigt should definitely take advantage, and at 3.5 is just way too cheap for a power bat like Voigt on the San Diego offense. One of the better offenses, in my opinion, to stack up on this slate that I really, really like, and you get good prices for these guys as well. Another San Diego bat, Manny Machado, has proved time and time again throughout his career he's a lefty masher, plain and simple. He's got a 409 ISO against Bumgarner in 23 plate attempts. So he hits them hard. He's definitely got some power against Bumgarner. And Machado versus lefties in general, man. 268 ISO, 403 WOBA, solid numbers. Machado is a power guy versus these lefties. Most of the time he can give you a solid, safe floor. And in MLB DFS, we all know the best hitters in the league could go out there and get a 0 and go 0 for 5. Mike Trout could go out and get an 0 for 5. But a lot of things, a lot of times Manny Machado won't do that when he's facing a lefty, and that's where you want to kind of take advantage of. You want to take the guys who have high upside, facing pitchers with not much of a strikeout rate, so you're not worried about a strikeout. Most of the time, your guys are going to put the ball in play, and if your guy can put the ball in play majority of the time, things work out more often than not in that situation. So you just want the ball in play. You don't want to, play somebody who's got high potential of getting struck out, and Bumgarner doesn't have much of a strikeout rate at all at this point. All right. Last but not least, I really love Juan Soto as my big dog at 5K for this Washington offense going against the Mets. He's going against righty McGill, and come on. Juan Soto, 282 ISO, 454 WOBA versus righties. I don't have to explain this much. Here's the biggest thing. Not only does Soto smash righties with a 282 ISO and a 454 WOBA, but McGill struggles so bad versus lefties. Washington lefties are interesting. All right. He gives up a 415 WOBA and a 297 ISO to left-handed bats. So a sneaky stack of this slate today will be Washington. And Juan Soto is one of the spend-up guys that I really, really like on this slate. So he's in a fantastic spot because, you look at both the things, man. Look, it's just a beautiful matchup here. All right, he's crushes righties. McGill struggle versus lefties. There's not much. You can't ask for much more. All right, so to break it down some more, there's the high five. To break it down some more on this slate, San Diego really, really like lefties of Washington. I really, really like. Adam Wainwright and Bieber are the two pitchers I'm going with in the high five. As my studies go on, I could possibly spend up for both pitchers. You guys know me. Like I said, spend up on your pitchers. Get the pitchers that you want and you feel the most comfortable with, and then figure the hitting out next. When you have a guy like Luke Voigt, power bat against a bad lefty at 3.5, it gives you kind of more opportunity to play with things. But Luke Voigt at 3.5 is a lock, and Manny Machado against lefties is a lock. So San Diego is fantastic. Plain and simple, I'm feeling good about this first slate of the year, man. I'm very, very, very excited. FanDuel starts at a different time than DraftKings does, so pay attention to that. FanDuel starts at like 1 Central or so, something like that, where DraftKings starts around 3 Central, something like that. Let me go ahead and know for sure. Yeah, so DraftKings main slate will start at 3:05, whereas on FanDuel, let me see real quick. FanDuel MLB slate is going to start at 12:05 for the main slate. So make sure you get your FanDuel all set up and then go ahead and, prepare for DK. All right, now let's go ahead and check FanDuel real quick. Let's go over here and look at FanDuel real quick. Switched over to FanDuel. Looking at pitching, we have Shane Bieber at 10-4, which you're definitely having to spend some money to get up to Shane Bieber. But Shane Bieber is the guy that I really, really like, man. Corbin Burns, we all know, has a high K rate. But as you can see, my projections for these guys, I have Shane Bieber ahead as of right now. I really like him at 10-4, so I'm really liking to go ahead and just plug him in with that strikeout rate that he has shown, man. He's just fantastic. Kansas City's offense is okay. Don't get me wrong, but Shane Bieber's a beast. All right. Let's look at hitters and let's just sort point per salary and see what we got here. So Luke Voigt at 2.5, lock him in. Fantastic option there. Absolutely love him. I talked about the lefties for Washington. Lane Thomas is an interesting option. Um, He's a guy that could be a solid option, but he's a righty. Let's see if he leads off. Kind of interesting to see what lineup they kind of run for Washington. We'll have to figure that out. But outside Suzuki, a lot of hype around Suzuki coming into this season. Definitely interesting to see what happens there. I have him projected really, really well here. At only 2.2, he's a solid option. I'm going to go Rowdy Tellez. Hold on a second. Why is he not plugging in? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, Rowdy Tellez is a solid option. J.D. Davis, as you can see, my value guys. Colton Wong. I'm just going to go through this real quick. Andrew McCutchen. These guys are solid options. As you can see, first and foremost, a lot of Milwaukee bats are popping for me. All right, a lot of Milwaukee bats are popping for me. So I like Tellez over here, Colton Wong, Jace Peterson, Andrew McCutchen as value options. And then play the San Diego guys. Go ahead and go over here. Go ahead and get my guy Manny Machado. Got to get me some Manny Machado, Luke Voigt. Let's go ahead and look at outfield one more time. Juan Soto. I'm gonna go ahead and keep the core, guys. Nothing really changes for me here. I'm gonna keep the core. Christian Yelich at 3.3 feels pretty damn cheap. Trent Grisham. I know it's lefty-lefty matchup, but I mean I'm all for San Diego in general on the slate. Yordan Alvarez against Otani could definitely get a shot or two here. We know the type of power he possesses, so he's a fantastic option. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Let me see. Anybody else I want to talk about really quickly? That's about it, y'all. All right, good luck on the first slate of the year. In tomorrow's video for the next MLB slate, I'll start doing the home run predictions. Also, player pool, man. Check out the NBA player pool for the playoffs and stuff like that. For prize picks, we've been just absolutely dominating. Try that out with the DFS. Obviously, we've been doing great in that as well. And the MLB player tool, make sure you play with that. Have fun with that once it is dropped on the site in the morning tomorrow. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always, and I'm out. Peace.